everyone, if you want to get inspiration, motivation, and hacks about life, career, and writing, this is the channel for you. I am ERRStories, and welcome to Life Thoughts and Inspirations TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life Thoughts and Inspirations TV. And today's episode of Conversations with ERR Stories with the writers is very exciting because I was able to invite one good writer all the way from Zimbabwe, and her recent book, which is entitled "The Pearls of My Twenties: Lessons of Gratitude in Every Season," is out in the market, and she's with us here today to talk about her writing journey, some writing tips, and also talk about her book and her company called the Guava Paper, or the Guava Company, which she will talk about more later on. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to my fellow writers out there, I am happy to present to you our guest for today, Miss Zinzile Sibanda. Hello, Zinzile. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? I'm great, thank you. It's so good to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you too for saying yes for this interview, because like what I told you earlier last time when I saw the title of your book, I was really touched with the title. It's so beautiful and
thank you.
It just touches the heart so much. So what inspired you to write? What is your inspiration?
So for me, my inspiration to write has really been a thing of, I have felt like it's part of my calling, part of my purpose. So for me, writing is something that's always been within me. I've always liked it. I've always enjoyed it from a very young age. So I could say, I've always kind of known. I've always kind of known, even though in sometimes I wasn't always sure, or sometimes I may have been a little insecure about, the way that I write. But over time, I've been able to grow like in confidence and grow also just in the skill, just by carrying on practicing. And I would say that's what has inspired me to write. The kind of knowing that,
When did you start writing? Because you said at an early age you pretty know, like, you are into this writing, but how old were you then?
Yeah, I would say pretty much I must have started like really writing, taking it seriously I must have been about 10. Yeah, that's when I really just started, noticing that I had a thing for it, that I really enjoyed it. And then I would say at about 16, that's when I knew that writing definitely had something to do with my life and was very intertwined with my life and would be in my life. So that's when it all started. And I would say that I would have taken it up actually as a profession, but I come from the kind of traditional background where, my parents always wanted us to have something solid to fall back on in case, the dreams of being an artist or a writer failed. They always wanted us to have something solid, like, be a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant, that kind of thing. That's what was considered, really solid, like a proper 9-to-5 kind of job. Mm-hmm. Although they were very supportive still of the writing thing, they just always wanted that sense of security for me as well. And I can appreciate that. Yeah,
that's true, because parents will just want the best for their kids, right?
Yeah, they do.
Tell us more about your journey of being a writer, because you've mentioned at 16, that's really the time that you did a lot of writing. So how did it go from 16 until now?
Okay, so it was very organic. It wasn't like it wasn't linear at all. Like, it was very organic, a little bit here, a little bit there, exploring with poems. Am I more a poet, or am I a storyteller, a writer, a narrator, like, what am I? So it was really just that. And I would say the journey of it really exploded when I got to varsity, because I think that's when I discovered that, oh, there's actually this thing called academic writing that I'm also quite good at. So I also ventured into that. And, you know, so it's just been and writing in all these different forms. And I also did a bit of songwriting, which is lovely. I still do quite a significant amount of songwriting, which I thoroughly enjoy. I absolutely love it. And a bit of training and mentorship of, like, you know, the younger ones that are up and coming, you know, that always want a bit of assistance here and there. So it hasn't been like a straightforward journey. It has been up and down. I mean, there have been times or seasons where I feel more creative, you know, and then other times where I feel like, oh, I'm a little burnt out, or, you know, I don't have space or capacity to write. So it's definitely been up and down, and yeah, but it's been good. It's been a good journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel the way you answer it, and your eyes are glittering. So it really seems like a very exciting writing journey for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
What is your writing style?
So I would say I'm definitely more of the descriptive kind of a writer. You know, I like for my readers to really feel what I'm writing, you know. If it's like a sound, I want them to be able to hear it in their mind. If it's a taste, I want them to be able to taste it. If it's a touch, I want to describe it in a way that they can almost, you know, feel it in their minds. So I'm definitely a descriptive writer. You know, I like to engage all the senses in just writing, you know, and yeah, a little narrative here and there, but mostly I'm like really descriptive. I like to, you know, to explain something, to paint a picture. I like to paint a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your writing motto? Like when you start writing, what is it that guides you all throughout?
What guides me? I would say that it absolutely God guides me, because I am Christian. I am a believer. So absolutely God guides me, and I know that the source of all of my creativity is God. And so whenever I feel stuck, or whenever I feel you know, like writer's block, like nothing's coming through, I really just put things down, and, you know, maybe I'll play a bit of worship music, or I'll soak in something, or, you know, I'll just, you know, sit in stillness, because I know that in that stillness, that's when things become unclogged. That's when creativity comes and flows, things flow. And I know that absolutely the source of all of that for me is God. God is my source of creativity. He is who guides me. That is, yeah, that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
true, right? Especially if you're not on that stuck process.
Yes, it's so helpful to sit in silence. I find, you know, sometimes you just need to be quiet and just give yourself a bit of time to just let your mind sort through all the noise.
Yeah, true. And speaking of that, that tip that you just mentioned, to be silent if ever you are experiencing writer's block, what are some of your writing tips that you can share to our viewers out there?
I would absolutely say trust in yourself, you know, trust the ability. I mean, if you're feeling like you're being nudged in the direction of writing, like, you know, if you're feeling like you have an interest or you want to do it, then it's more than likely that that's something that you should be doing. So trust the process, and yeah, just get started, you know, just put something on paper, you know, and if you don't like it, you can always start afresh, if you don't like it, you can always just scrap out the idea and start afresh. Just get started and trust the process. I feel like that's where growth happens, when you continue to trust that, yes, this is what I want to do, and I want to build on it, and I want to grow it, and I want to perfect it. So really just trusting the process.
Correct. Yeah. You just have to trust the process. And I like what you said, that if you really want to write, then you just have to really start writing, because sometimes ideas get to our minds, and without really pushing and writing, you won't get there. Correct.
Yeah. And you just start. I mean, the way that my book actually came about, it did not feel like it was a book. It felt like I was just writing down bits and pieces of stuff, that was just popping up in my head or whatever, or stuff that I was going through and processing. But at the end of the very first, I wouldn't even call it a draft. I don't know what it was. It was just like pages of written work. It really started to feel like, wait, there might be something here. And then from there, from the scraps of whatever I had written, I could pull from the stuff that was already written down. So I would also say that no idea is a stupid idea, or nothing. There's no such thing as a silly idea, because you don't know what it's going to bring out of you, at some later stage, or it might not be significant for now, but maybe it's significant for another time later on, somewhere down the line.
All right.
Yeah.
That's correct. And speaking of the book, you've mentioned just earlier about your book, so maybe you can tell us the story behind the Pearls of My Twenties, Lessons of Gratitude in Every Season. Why is it entitled like that, and how did you come about the book?
Okay, sure. Wow. So it's titled like that because my 20s, the decade of my 20s, I'm currently 29. So like I'm right at the end of my 20s, like right at the end. So the decade of my 20s has had a lot of ups and downs. There's been quite a number of difficult seasons. Particularly, I lost my mom in a tragic car accident. And that for me changed the course of my life forever. And that was really what motivated me to begin to really be more intentional about the writing thing and the writing process. And just as I was going through all of that, I remember, obviously going through different seasons, difficult seasons, and coming out of it and thinking, there are things to be grateful for, no matter how down and out you may be. There are things to be grateful for. We just need to learn to see, through the eyes of gratitude, and there's stuff to always be grateful for. It may not look like what we would have wanted it to look like, but it's definitely, if we look hard enough, there's things to be grateful for in every season. So that's how the title came about. And the thing of pearls is because, a lot of times people tend to think that, people in their 20s are not serious, or they're not, they don't take themselves too seriously, they're too playful, or, you can't really rely on them or whatever. And and for me, it's actually quite been the opposite. It's been such a time of growth and a time of, stepping into myself, stepping fully into myself. And, discovering that in all of that craziness that I experienced in the past or whatever, in all those different seasons, there are still lessons to be learned from that, and there's still things to be taken from that. In as much as, even if it looked messy or whatever, there were still lessons in the mess, So that's why I feel like, pearls, even in the 20s, they are pearls. There is wisdom even when you are young and trying to figure it out.
Correct. I'm curious, how is it presented? Is it more of like short story type, or is it like a reflection type, or an essay collection of poems?
Okay, so it's definitely short and reflective, because I do lots of looking back. Obviously, because I would have to look back into like the previous decade. I do quite a bit of looking back, and I do quite a bit of storytelling as well. Just to help people get a glimpse of what my journey has been like, and the place where I'm writing from. I think for me it's important to have the readers know the place where I'm writing from, and that also as part of the introduction, I do mention that it's like the intention of the book is to be written free from judgment, and really with an openness. An openness to wanting to do better by yourself and to wanting to be better for yourself. So that has been the intention from the very beginning. So I go back and forth. I reflect, and then I do a bit of storytelling, and then pull out some of the lessons that I've learned from the experience or from the story that I would have told.
Oh no,
yeah.
As we speak now, I recall this song entitled "At the Cross," and there's this part there that says, "In every season, I know you love me." So I'm sorry that I think I'm out of.
That sounds lovely.
That song reminded me of your book. I mean, your book reminded me of that song, and I'm really excited to get a copy of that.
Wow,
Our readers. So maybe you can tell us, how are we gonna get a copy of your book? Is it available printed, online, or whatnot?
Yeah, so it is available currently online. It's available on Amazon, which is great. Right now, it's still available in ebook version. I'm still yet to process the paperback version of it. It will be available soon in paperback if you would like that. If you're more of like a paper person and you want to read from the actual pages, because it's different, right? Reading from like a phone or a device and actually flipping the pages. Yeah, it's quite a different feeling. So that's going to be available too. And I do have some hard copies here with me physically. I will be sending them out and delivering them to the different people. Because some have indicated that actually I cannot wait for the paperback. Please, if you have copies, can you just courier it to me, send it out to me? So that's available as well. So that's where the book is available.
Okay, we'll be posting all the available links in the description portion of the YouTube, so that they can order also. Or you can message me, and then I'll just forward it to our friend Zinzile. Wow, exciting. So, do you maintain a blog apart from, that book that you've written, or not yet?
So no, not yet is the correct answer, because I did notice that out of that book, people have actually been quite interested, and I've been leaning into starting a podcast. A podcast just to really, create another platform for young people to talk about the different things that affect them, or the different things that they're grateful for, or whatever else really, just current stuff that's happening to us. To just, to try and use my voice as much as possible, in a way that is impactful and helpful to so many other people. So definitely out of the book is coming more things. And another thing that I actually am another project that I'm on is creating a gratitude journal, which is something that's been on my heart and mind for a really long time. For people to be able to document stuff, because it doesn't come naturally for everyone. So it's something that I've really wanted to do, to design a gratitude journal so that people can just, document and write things down, and help them along on their process, on their journey.
That sounds exciting, because sometimes we tend to forget to be grateful. But if you have that journal, then every day you get to be reminded that, identify at least one, because
One thing, yeah.
it really makes a difference. So apart
It
from
does.
that, what are your other future plans in related to your book, related to your writing career?
Okay, great. Wow, that's a big question. So future plans, I definitely want to write some more, publish more books, write more books. The feeling is amazing, Elydia. It's lovely. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. So I would definitely say write more books, publish more books, grow my company, because I think it's so important to have a space where people can have their stories told and have their stories heard. So definitely would want to grow into a publishing house where people, yeah. Where people can really just publish their stories and have those out there, is really just my heart. So I feel like it's different when something's written down, as opposed to if I just told you a story now, you'd remember it, but then you probably forget it down the line. But if it's written down, you can always go back to it and be like, oh, by the way, that was the story. So yeah, publishing house is definitely on my vision board. Something that I want to do, and just carry on and see what else is out there, just on the writing front.
Wow. Maybe you can also share to the viewers about the Guava Paper. Is it Guava Paper, right? Because it's another exciting project from you. So
thank you. Okay, so Guava Paper is a writing consultancy that I am managing and heading up. We're still very much a small boutique writing consultancy. So what we do is we offer writing services and writing advice to individuals or small businesses or companies, and also law firms as well, because I have quite a strong legal background. So I have done quite a lot of legal writing as well, and legal research. So what we do is we offer consultancy on writing, whether it's like ads, or it's not only just ads, but it's also like business stuff, like contracts, like proposals, like assisting students even academically with their research proposals or their papers and things like that, and helping them through or helping them along that process. And we've also done quite a bit of training and mentorship for young girls. Wow. That also are aspiring writers, and it's been incredible, and I'm really hoping that this explodes, and just more people are able to receive the writing assistance that they need.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. You can use my channel, because I'd like, you started it during the interview that you said it's a purpose. God guides you all throughout this process, and you're helping out the young girls as well who are into writing. So allow me to volunteer my channel to help you out, promote this at no cost. Wow. You can just send me material.
Wow, thank you so much.
You can reach out.
Thank you so much. I would love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my word. Thank you. Oh.
Like what you said earlier, writing is also a ministry. So I'm so happy that we've met each other. And now
me too. I am so delighted. I am so delighted. So thank you so much for reaching out.
Yeah. And now we're Sorry, now we're towards the last stretch of our interview. I think it's the time difference, sometimes you're lagging, I'm lagging as well. Okay, so we're towards the last stretch of our interview. And before we end, do you have any other message to aspiring writers out there, especially the young ones, the 20-ish something who are sometimes labeled as, the playful ones and without purpose.
The playful ones. I would say consistency is key. Consistency is key. I mean, we can all say one thing, but if you're doing it repeatedly, consistency will get you where your talent or your creativity can't, I believe. There's some doors that can be opened just from you being consistent, just from you sticking to your word, being a person of integrity. In as much as it can be difficult in your 20s because you're thinking about everything else except that, So yeah, remain consistent, remain, integrous, and yeah, just carry on writing, carry on, pushing forward, carry on. Working on your skill, perfecting your craft. Keep on, read more books. The more you read, I believe the better you will be at writing and stuff, and being exposed to different writing styles. And yeah, just stay on the journey. Be true to stay on it. Yeah, is what I would say. Stick with it. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very true, right? Consistency. Because even if we have talents, even if we have those ideas, but if we are not consistent, ouch, is that for myself? If we are not really that consistent, then we won't be able to deliver what we have.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
Exactly.
Right.
And sometimes also just the thing of, how sometimes when you do something and you expect it to be this amazing thing, and it turns out, oh man, it turns out maybe it wasn't as great as you thought it was, and then we get discouraged and then we want to give up. But it's there's we can't rush the process, and also like not doing great is part of the learning process as well. So yeah, then just to be kind to yourself, because sometimes you will fail. We all fail. We all, we all go through that just period where maybe we're not just doing great, or we're just feeling low or feeling down. But you just remember in that time to really just be kind to yourself, and to take the time to be okay with however long it's taking, yeah. Because sometimes these things really take a while. Yeah.
Wow, very meaningful discussion. Quick, short, but very meaningful. So I'd like to thank you, Miss Zinzile Sibanda.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for your time. We're 6 hours apart, Philippines and Zimbabwe, but we've taken your time off. So thank you very much. And to all the viewers out there, I hope you got inspiration from Miss Zinzile. We'll be posting also all her social media platforms, so you can get in touch with her and order her book as well. So there. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, God bless you too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Hi everyone, so I'm coming back to you with a video to really just express my thanks to you for how well the release of my book has been received, and how it has just created so much of a greater impact than what I foresaw and what I thought it would. And I'm really grateful for your support. I'm grateful for your well wishes. I'm grateful for all the congratulations that have been sent my way, and I really appreciate the people that have taken the time to send the calls, to send the texts, to send the DMs, to buy the book, to say thank you, to show their appreciation. I am so blessed and thankful for just for that level of support, and just that level of acknowledgement, I suppose you could say. And the purpose for the book, or rather my heart and my hope for the book, is really that I hope that it brings healing to a lot of people that might have gone through the same sort of situation or similar circumstances as mine, and my hope is to bring healing along the way, and to let people feel and know that they're not alone, and that it's not happening to them alone, and that you can get through whatever it is that you're going through. The purpose is healing, the heart of it is healing, and learning just gratitude from that place, from the place of the soul, I suppose you could say. So that really is the purpose of the book. And I also just wanted to announce a couple of other things, that I will be making a few more videos of my journey, of my processing journey, of the writing journey, and how that has been like for me, and also how the publishing journey has been like for me, in case anyone else wants to walk it out, and in case other people have questions and are wanting to write. As I sense that there are a lot of people that are wanting to express themselves in this form of writing, in this art form that is writing. So in case there's anyone else that these videos might help, that would be great for that. That's what they're for. And also just wanting to let you know that the book is finally available for pre-order. If you're a hard copy kind of girl like myself, or guy like, well, not myself, I'm not a guy, but if you're a hard copy person and you like to read from the paper, from the book itself, you like to turn the pages, you are able to pre-order the book now. It will be available in a very short while. DM me for the details on how you can do so, and let's find out how we can get the book couriered to you. Thank you so much once again. I am so grateful. Love and light to you all.
Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. And yes, always remember Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Bye-bye!